They need your guns. Sell for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Sean Thompson. And this is the Sean Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag.
I love the on-location shows. I really do. And I have gotten criticism from time to time. You wouldn't believe it, Squirrel. Welcome back, Squirrel. Stop showing your Speedo hand lines to the rest of the workers. You're starting to create an HR violation. It's a funny thing, though. People want to do the show, and it's great. These venues where we get together, I absolutely love it. And a day like today, beautiful day for golf, McRae Memorial, fantastic course. The greens, great. Everything was wonderful. I played and met some wonderful people. But I only get 3 hours a day. And rather than give you the play-by-play of how my foursome were wonderful people but should really take up bowling. Hopefully right now they're selling their clubs because they were terrible. But the day was fantastic. I want to talk about the most important thing. This is the administration of redemption. And the reason I say that is when you knew all these crooked mafia half-ass gangsters who call themselves Democrats, the scam. They set their wives up. They set their simpleton kids up. They set their nephews up. And they steal policy money. And they launder it. So when you see that finally, after decades of the American people getting stuck with the bill, it's called the national debt. And the reason it exploded to parabolic levels after that simpleton married to that Bigfoot broad, which, by the way, that MMA fighter just started a thing that they think he's paying retribution for. He's saying what we all thought for many years. However, when you see the national debt explode by $30 trillion, it isn't about your green energy scams and the $4 million windmills that I saw 500 of them in Indiana, and we're going to go over that scam that is. It's about the way you've been stealing money since Barack Obama brought the Chicago way to the national stage.
The Federal Reserve has revealed that U.S. NGOs have more in assets than the combined 2025 GDP estimates for Japan, Germany, and India combined.
American money is in these entities, these vestibules of corruption called NGOs, which 30 years ago, nobody really talked about. That's because the debt was $30 trillion less. This is where our money is. You don't really think it's in policies, do you? You don't really think it's in agendas that will make your life better. You're the slave on the wheel of taxation. This is the class of people that never pay any taxes. That's why they have their apparatchiks called politicians attack people who pay taxes and go to work and make this country better, like Elon Musk. Here's another reason they don't like him.
So there's just a tremendous amount of money being sent to non-governmental organizations. But actually, this, by the way, is, I think, one of the biggest sources of fraud in the world, is government-funded non-governmental organizations. This is a gigantic fraud loophole where the government can give money to an NGO, and then there are no controls over that NGO. So they've given billions of dollars, in fact, we estimate tens of billions of dollars, to NGOs that are essentially scams.
Now, that was when everybody loved him. Ooh, he made the Tesla, the EV. That's when he was loved, after he exposes the way in which this, unfortunately, American government operates in a systemically corrupt way. All of a sudden, he's a Nazi, as they elect an actual Nazi.
This much money makes Elon Musk completely unaccountable. And it's so striking that I think in the past, if you had a businessman like Musk who was such an out-and-out white supremacist, who was probably the most significant sort of white nationalist.
You know who a white supremacist was? LBJ. Yet he's touted by every Democrat. How many people understand the long legacy of corruption of LBJ? You could articulate, you could speculate, you may even be aware that welfare roach corrupt system was set by LBJ, who, by the way, like every other Democrat, stole their election.
Johnson won by 87 votes. but the question of a stolen election remained.
You cannot make the statement on the facts that Johnson stole the election. I think you can say it was stolen for him. That's true. But did he order it done? I never could find John Connally down there doing it.
I wasn't within 200 miles of him. I was in Austin, Texas, on a battery of telephones calling all over the state of Texas. I didn't know anything about it. And that's the truth of the matter.
If Homer Dean knew it was stolen, you don't find Homer Dean saying he stole it.
I didn't then and don't now think that Johnson directly participated in it. He received the benefit of it, but I don't think he directed it or even knew about it when it was happening.
You see,
3 days, the count went on. Oh, this is way back when. And this lying, thieving fraud who would go on to really benefit from the assassination of JFK. He set in motion the welfare roach theft system that plagues us to this day, only now it's exploded to $14.2 trillion that sits in bank accounts of NGOs that benefit nobody but corrupt politicians and their simpleton relatives.
India and Japan's GDP, each just over $4 trillion. Germany, $5 trillion. About $13.5 trillion together. Guess what? The combined assets held by U.S. NGOs equals $14.2 trillion of your.
That's a lot of money to splash around. Now all you need is a good excuse to steal it and a Democrat to set the wheels in motion. Let's take that false actor, that moron, the mimbo, Gavin Newsom, and his whore wife. Number 3 or 2, it doesn't matter. She's another trollop. She's the twa in the menage a trois he got caught with his best friend's wife in. Here's $20 million for you, whore.
Governor Gavin Newsom has announced that the state will funnel $20 million in taxpayer dollars to an NGO connected to his wife, Jennifer Siebel Newsom. It's for the quote-unquote free diapers that will be handed out to newborns through the group Baby to Baby. Baby to Baby's co-CEO, Nora Weinstein, sits on the board of Jennifer Newsom's NGO, California Partners Project. This is not the first time that Jennifer is connected to massive taxpayer-funded projects and other scandals related to her NGOs. She is the honorary chair of the NGO Cal Volunteers that was given at least $1 million in fire aid relief, in which $0 went directly to the victims of the Palisades wildfire.
Does anybody know the name of little tiny Dick Durbin's wife's lobbyist firm? Is it Cellulite Incorporated? What is that fat ass good at other than laundering money? Anybody know the name of Mike Madigan's son lobbying firm? What is it called? Step and Fetch? What is the name of Ed Burke's, nephew, cousin, sister's kid with the cork on his fork so he doesn't poke his own eye out during Thanksgiving? All multi-millionaires. Did you think you'd get away with it? Gavin Newsom's chief of staff at one time pleads guilty for the lightest sentence of her thieving rat career.
Former chief of staff to the California governor, top Democrat Gavin Newsom, is set to appear in court tonight after being indicted on public corruption charges. According to prosecutors, Dana Williamson diverted something like $225,000 from an inactive political campaign to an associate's personal use from 2022 to 2024, which is right around the same time she worked for the governor. Prosecutors.
And when we catch them, it's the smallest crime these thieves ever perpetrate. Yet, who do they hate? They hate the businessman. They hate the worker. They hate the golf pro shop worker. They hate the guy that busts his ass 7 days a week. That people like Elon Musk make millionaires overnight.
SpaceX stock blasted off in its debut, soaring more than 19% on the NASDAQ before closing at $161 a share, making it the largest initial public offering in history.
If people had told me this was going to happen, I was like, man, you must be smoking some really good crack.
Founder and CEO Elon Musk, already the world's richest man, became the first ever trillionaire, touting his vision for the future.
SpaceX wants to be able to take you to the moon, take you to Mars, and ultimately beyond.
SpaceX, which includes the rocket company, the satellite internet provider Starlink, and xAI, also minted more than 4,400 new millionaires.
It's pretty unreal. Don't have the words, honestly.
One of them, Juan Hernandez, a welder at SpaceX for 10 years, who was paid both a salary and.
Now, how many millionaires were made by the Democrat mafia? How many millionaires that could have been millionaires had their money extorted from them to pay NGOs so that one of their ugly wives, stupid kids, half-ass simpleton nephews could become millionaires. How many millionaires does the Democrat mafia really make through honest business versus stealing your money?
The world's richest freeloader evidently has a very thin skin. But you know the part that really makes me angry about this? It's on behalf of every public school teacher, every waitress, every computer.
See, government can never pay them because they have no money. The only way they can even fund this merry wheel of fraud is by stealing money of the workers. And by the way, that's a broad who's whiter than Ed Burke's ass, high cheekbones like Chuck Connors, and for 40 years, she not only got jobs, she got loans. And she won elections by saying she was an Indian, and she's still going to get elected because the people who support this, they don't believe she's an Indian any more than they believe Bernie Sanders is a communist. They want in on it, like all the wives of these scoundrels you call politicians. 312-642-5600.
He will never negotiate his constitutional rights with the government. Live free or die on the Sean Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Gary Carr, retired homicide detective and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. For 10 years, we've helped more than 20,000 students become safe, responsible, and confident firearm owners. If you're looking to get your Illinois Concealed Carry license or need to renew, now's the perfect time. Our law enforcement-led training gives you the knowledge and skills to protect yourself and your family. Our 16-hour concealed carry class includes live fire training, one-on-one coaching, Illinois and Florida certification for expanded reciprocity, range qualification, and a full-color textbook. We provide the firearm, ammunition, eye and ear protection, targets, and range access. Need a renewal? Our 3-hour renewal class keeps you legal and current on Illinois firearm laws. Thousands of students have trusted us for professional instruction, flexible scheduling, and exceptional value. Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian for classes, less lethal options, and self-defense legal plans. Visit us at concealedcarrychicago.com to reserve your seat today. That's concealedcarrychicago.com, concealedcarrychicago.com.
Hey, this is Sean Thompson. You know, most of us spend our entire lives in the paycheck mode. You work, you get 30%